Hey, Danny K, coming to you from Danny K Gym Wellness. Today's tip comes to you from one of my clients I was training this morning. And basically, we got on the subject of how do you handle change? Do you handle change good? Do you handle change bad? Do you fight change? Do you accept change? And there's so many different ways of looking at change, like one good positive way of looking at change, like when you work out, and you want to see change in your body. Change is good for that, right? So, you want to see the changes, you want to see the results. So change, obviously in that sense, we accept that change. We open our arms to that change. But there's a lot of times where change comes into our lives, and because it's not what we want, when we want it, how we want it, the reason that we want it, or it's fearful, we kind of like resist that change, and then we find fault with that change. And guess what happens? When you find fault with that change and you resist that change, more change and more fear and more resistance and more stuckness happens, right? So, it's like, kind of like if you think about, like the flow of a river. If you stand and try and, block the flow of the water, you're gonna, you won't be able to do that, right? So you're sitting there, you're gonna like put all this energy into trying to block this flow of this water, and it's not gonna happen. But if you just stand there and let it go and let it flow, think about how cool the water looks over that one big rock or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so there's change in everywhere we look, and change is a good thing, especially when we're asking for certain things. We might ask whatever your higher power is, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever it might be. We'll ask for a certain thing, and when something like we think negative happens, like we'll ask for, like I was telling my client today, we might ask for XYZ, but God or the universe or whatever might have to make ABC happen. And so what happens is, that's not the way we wanted. This is what we asked for, but in order to make this happen, we don't know how it's going to happen or what's going to happen or who's going to do it or whatever. But this thing comes. How do we know this isn't what we're asking for over here? So if we accept this, that might get into, if we accept ABC, it might allow XYZ to happen of what we're asking for. So, we tend to, every now and then, we tend to get into a deep conversation when I'm training a client and stuff like that. Because not only when I train, do I train the muscle, I like to train the mind, I like to train your thoughts, I like to help you positively, not just in the gym, but outside of the gym as well. And y'all help me too, you know what I mean? Like, you get me thinking, or you throw something at me that I, might not think about, or I'm having a struggle with, so think of the areas of where you might be stuck, whether it is weight, whether it's, drinking more water, whether it's, eating healthier, or, a certain job, or friendship, relationship, area of whatever part you are stuck in or you feel stuck, right? If you think about different things that try and come into change and you resist them, maybe that's why you're staying stuck. Maybe that's why, if something is bringing you back to the gym, but you're resisting coming back to the gym, or you're fearful of going to the gym, or you're fearful of work. I say gym just in technical, like general terms, like working out, DVD, that kind of thing, but if you're resistant to that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel stuck. So if you accept it and just try and pop the DVD in and just do 5 minutes, it might just kind of retrain and change those things, and you'll feel less and less stuck, right? So, a lot of times, we think about change as being bad, but then when we look back on things that did happen, that did change, those were good things. So, we have two, sorry, got a text coming through. We have two ways of dealing with change. Either we can accept it and kind of be excited about where it might be going, or we can resist it. And if we resist, like with anything, if we resist anything, we're gonna be stuck, or we're gonna feel stuck. Think about, you know, like there's a lot of times where I do like an exercise where, you know, we have like the exercise ball and I'm on one side and my client's on the other side. And if I'm pushing, if I'm resisting her, guess what's happening? Like she's not getting it, or he isn't getting anywhere, right? So, but if I, you know, allow a little bit of, you know, her or his persistence to come through, then I'm going to be less, it's going to be less resistance, and you're going to see the progression. You're going to see going from point A to point B, okay? So if you resist, a lot of times you're blocking something, right? But if I step out of the way and let it go, then you're getting from point A to point B, you know, and of course resistance in working out obviously is good because it makes you stronger. And, you know, so that not that kind of resistance, not like weight resistance. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about resistance against change, because a lot of times change is actually good. And especially if we're asking for something, if we're asking God or the universe or, you know, friends or family or whatever, if we're asking for something, you know, it's not always going to happen the way we want it to happen or the way we think it might happen. You know, other things might have to take place for it to happen, you know. So, you know, like we might ask for a healthier body or a thinner body or a stronger body, but things have to change. Things have to happen in order for those things to come. So, and we may not like to work out. We may not like to eat chicken. We may not like to eat our vegetables. But if we want those certain things to happen, we have to accept that change and actually utilize it, you know, utilize the change, go with the change, go with the flow of what is actually happening instead of resisting. Because if we say we want a healthier body, we want a leaner body, we want a stronger body, we want more muscle, we want less body fat, whatever it might be, and we resist the way that it's going to have to happen, like exercise, like weightlifting, like cardio, like healthy eating, like eating chicken and fish and vegetables and more water, lessening the alcohol, or, you know, lessening the bad carbs. You know, I mean, those things have to happen in order for the change that we want to have happen, right? So, you know, and just, I mean, think about how beautiful other changes are, like when the weather changes. Well, I'm hating the way the change of the weather is happening now. It's cold and then it's hot and or warm. It's cold, it's warm, it's rainy, it's freezing, whatever. But I'm talking about like the 4 seasons, you know, where, you know, the leaves fall off. It's a beautiful thing with that. And when you know, like in the autumn, you know, when the changes of the leaves happen, that's beautiful. When the leaves come back onto the trees and everything's blooming, you know, if we didn't have change, if nature resisted change like that, we wouldn't have the beauty there, right? So think about all the different ways that you might be resisting some sort of change, and think about how, like, if you just kind of like accept it and be like, you know what, this is happening for a reason and I can't see it now, but I bet you something great is about to happen. Again, like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday's video where I said retrain your thoughts, right? You retrain your thought from this change being something negative to this change being something positive. You know, I mean, just think, 1, how great you're going to feel. 2, you're accepting it and you're not resisting. So you're not wasting time and energy on this thing that is happening regardless of whether you want it to or not, right? I mean, if it's something that has to do with your job, you know, the boss wants to, I don't know, change something. He wants to put this thing over here and you don't want that and you're going to resist it and you're going to bitch and moan and cry and whine and stomp your feet and everything. Well, guess what? It's going to happen regardless because the boss says so. The boss says, I'm moving this from here to there, right? Period. Done. I don't care what you do. And if you keep bitching, crying, moaning, complaining, guess what's going to happen? Worse things are going to happen. And then the boss might even say, bye-bye, you're done. I don't need this negativity, right? So if we accept and think about the different positive way that from moving this whatever machine, desk, whatever it might be from here to there, think about the positive. Oh, I'm going to get more steps, or oh, I'll get to walk by the window and get to see the sunshine, whatever. Think of something positive that can come and that will be coming about this change of whatever might be happening, so that we accept that change and things just, you know, we kind of flow with it, like, you know, like the water over a rock, you know. And then we see the beauty in all of that, and then good things happen, you know. So like I said, we retrain our thought, and the more positive things we put out there, and the more positive things we put out there about that change, and I say, like, you know, you moving that machine or that desk from one place to another, you know, just something simple where, you know, think about different things in your life that has changed, and you resisted, or you were fearful of, and then once it was done, you were like, what the hell was I scared of, right? Or, wow, look, this does make better sense to put this over here, you know? I mean, so don't always and don't ever be afraid of change. I know change it does have some fear put into it, but the more we allow that fear of whatever it is in, that's resisting, and that's blocking the good things from happening. Just like working out or eating healthy. You know, if we want, you know, the body, we want the bikini body, we want the perfect weight, we want whatever it is we might want, you know, healthier lifestyle, or, you know, whatever. You know, the more we resist the way we have to do that, guess what's going to happen? More negative and unhealthier things are going to happen, and it's going to make you even more unhealthy, or more stress, more, you know, all that stuff. So do me a favor and think about how change has actually, you know, affected you in a positive way. And the next time something comes at you that might tweak your thing today, you know, something might change a little bit, throw a little wrench in your day. Don't think how it threw a wrench in your day. Think how we can change that to be a positive thing, so that we're emitting more positive things, so that we think more positive, more clear. And, you know, like I said, most changes that happen, they're going to happen regardless of whether you want it to or not. So you might as well just kind of embrace it and go with it, and then, you know, kind of go with the flow and see what goodness is going to come about. You know, just think of some good positive things about how this change could happen, so that you're not resisting, you're accepting. The more we accept certain things like that, the happier we're going to be, especially the things, you know, that we can't control. You know, like, again, like, I'll go back to the boss saying we're going to move this from here to there. The boss says we're going to move it. If you think it's a bad idea, let it move it. And if he sees an issue with it, or she sees an issue with it, be like, damn, that was a stupid move, we're moving it back. So then you fought and resisted and argued and cried and almost lost your job over nothing, right? Let him or her see if that's a bad change or not. If it is a good change, then you'll see that it's a good change. So either way, if you accept it one way or another, something good's going to come out of it. Either it's going to stay there and it's going to be a great thing and you're going to see the great thing, or it'll be moved back because now the boss kind of got it in his head. Because, you know, sometimes bosses are stubborn, right? You know, and they have to see for themselves. So when they see it's more work and be like, well, that was dumb, they move it back. So don't try not to resist change. And when you find yourself resisting change, stop yourself, be in the moment, think about how good or something positive out of that change could possibly happen, and see where it goes from there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because like I said, change is going to happen in every aspect of our life. So it's how we deal with it, and, you know, how we deal with it is how we are affected, you know, good, bad, or indifferent in our emotional state, or you know, how we, you know, handle the rest of the day. Remember I said, and we see it all the time on Facebook, and different people kind of put it into us, 10% is what happens, 90% is our reaction. So, you know, if it's just this little itty bitty thing, but our reaction is like, so that's how our day is going to go, and that's how maybe our week's going to go. So think about a positive twist on something that might be changing in your life, or, you know, or might be changing in the work area, or think about how good positive changes happen with your body when but you have to go through that change to see the goodness and the positive. But you have to, you have to allow that change to happen to see the good, the bad, the ugly, but change normally kind of is putting us into the right path. Okay, so think about that. Stay positive. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you want to hear. Let me know how I can help you on your fitness journey, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical. If there's an exercise that you want me to demonstrate, let me know that too. Okay, and again, stay tuned. Next week we're going to have some video, we're going to have some talk, we're going to have some all good things, because guess what? There's change coming to Dani K. Gym of Wellness, and that change is going to be so, what did I say yesterday? I can't remember. Ecstatically exciting. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it's going to be awesome. Change is good, guys. Allow it to happen, right? Stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated. Bye.